Hi everybody, this is your last chance to leave because the opening ceremony of the World Cup is happening right now. So if you get to make a decision right now, but not mid-speech, okay? Actually, the World Cup, the second most important major event in the world happening locally. The first clearly over in Makerfield in a week or so. My parents get a vote in the Makerfield by-election. Anybody else's parents get a vote? No, I'm the only one. Fantastic. They moved out there recently, and I think they were just following the action, frankly, which is wonderful. Rich, thank you for the fantastic introduction, bringing everyone together here at ANS for this wonderful evening. Look, ANS, just an amazing Manchester success story. It's a business that has grown into one of our most important partners in the UK, evidenced by what you see here in terms of the UK Partner of the Year. I think you may have bought the world's biggest banner and stuck it on the side of your office. By the way, is that a slide that's going down the side? That is absolutely awesomely Mancunian. This place, fantastic to be here in the Science and Industry Museum, especially meaningful for me, actually, because as a reminder, as I walked in, obviously this is where I was born and raised. In fact, that thing out there, that big green two-cylinder Crossley engine, my dad worked at Crossley for over 40 years, and I actually remember him bringing me here as a kid on the day that they put that out there. And back then, it was just a machine to me. But to him, obviously, it was, and to the city, I suppose, it just represented something much bigger. The craft, the industry, the innovation, and the pride. And actually, that spirit that Rich talked about, of building what comes next. And I think that still defines everything about Manchester today. Growing up here, it taught me that Manchester always has that kind of confidence, that ability to get things done, a belief that world-class things can be built here. Not an expectation, but a belief. And you see it in the city that gave the world some of my favorite things, actually. Maybe Manchester United, Joy Division, the Smiths, certainly the Stone Roses and Oasis, just to name a few. Manchester has always punched well above its weight. And increasingly, you'll see the same ambition around technology. The city has never been afraid of change. And in fact, Manchester's got a bit of a habit of always helping to create that change. This, as you heard, the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. Remember all those classes at school, all those field trips? This is where it happened. It was built on innovation, engineering, manufacturing, and a ton of new ideas. It helped not just transform this economy, or the UK economy, but the global economy. And tonight we're here to talk about another transformation, one that is actually just happening so much quicker than any of the last, but it does hold promise and actually far-reaching impact if we get this right. Artificial intelligence, not simply a technology story, but it's an economic story, it's a skills story, and I think at the core of that is an opportunity story. It has the potential to reshape not just the technology space, but every single industry and every region across the UK. It's why we at Microsoft, we committed $30 billion to expand the AI infrastructure footprint across the UK in the next 4 years. It's our largest ever investment here, and it's already helping build the foundations of the future AI economy. Look, human history, it's been shaped by how we interact with information. We learned to capture it through writing, to distribute it through printing, and then recently to democratize it through the internet. AI is taking us a step further. AI is democratizing intelligence. Just as the internet transformed access to information, AI is transforming access to expertise, to capability, and ultimately to decision-making. And that's changing how organizations of all shapes and sizes operate. Because for the first time, we're working alongside a non-human form of intelligence. One that can reason, analyze, create, and increasingly it can act on our own behalf. It's expanding what humans are capable of. In my role, I see every single sector that is under pressure. There's just more complexity, there's more data, there's faster change than we've ever seen before. And our research is showing that the average information worker is interrupted every 2 minutes, and I suspect many of you can relate to that. 80% of employees are saying they just don't have enough time or energy to do their job. Well, more than half of the leaders of those employees are demanding more productivity from them. And that is the exact reason why AI matters. AI is expanding human capacity. Not because it helps us to do more work, but because it helps us to do better work. With AI, we're moving from what we might call information work to intelligence work, where AI is a collaborator and increasingly something that we need to orchestrate as it executes alongside us. Organizations that get this right, and what we at Microsoft call frontier firms, are just redesigning what it looks like, how they operate, how they act. And the reality right now, and I think you'll be able to relate to this, is employees are just already bringing AI into their workplace, whether organizations like you, whether you like it or not. And so I think the challenge for leaders is how to move quickly, to manage it responsibly, help people use it safely and effectively. And what makes this shift to intelligence work so powerful is that it happens through a broader ecosystems of customers, developers, startups, and partners like ANS building on the Microsoft platform to create solutions that are tailored to your industries. So from large enterprises, startups, UK companies are using our AI-infused platform and tools to move from idea to innovation at just unprecedented speed. Every technological revolution has places that emerge as centers of gravity, places where talent, leadership, investment, and innovation come together. And Manchester has all those hallmarks: a world-class university system, deep research capability, a thriving tech sector, strong leadership, and a culture of innovation and collaboration. In fact, the Social Mobility Commission actually highlighted Manchester as one of the cities that shows what's possible when you combine innovation, growth, and opportunity. And that's why I believe Greater Manchester is very uniquely positioned to become one of the UK's leading AI ecosystems. Because when government, academia, industry, and technology partners work together, just extraordinary things can happen. And we're already seeing it. Manchester institutions are not just embracing AI, but actually leading by example. Under the leadership of Professor Duncan Iverson and PJ, who may be in the room or not, University of Manchester is demonstrating how effective AI leadership in education can look. This university became the first in the world to offer Microsoft Copilot to all 65,000 students, faculty, and staff. Building on that 76 year of computing legacy, Alan Turing, as you saw on the screen, to the groundbreaking research that they're doing today, they're equipping their students with future-ready skills, fortifying teaching and research, and helping to address this emerging digital divide. The university recognizes that AI fluency will increasingly shape how the next generation succeeds in the workplace. Similarly, Mark Cubbon from the Manchester University NHS Foundation Trust are helping set the pace for AI adoption across healthcare. Here in Manchester, 150 clinicians are using Dragon Copilot, which is our ambient voice technology, to capture the consultations and automate the clinical documentation. Early results of this technology are seeing the trust drive some remarkable results. Maybe 250,000 additional patients a year can be served on the back of this technology. And it's the largest NHS trust in the UK. What happens here is actually driving broader implications across the rest of the UK. In fact, just last week, there's a major announcement that I had the honour to do on Monday after the Prime Minister at the opening of London Tech Week. NHS England announced the massive expansion of Microsoft Copilot available across the NHS. 500,000 users are going to be using this tool set to drive better patient outcomes. The Manchester Trust actually has been at the forefront of this journey, and the goal is simple but pretty powerful. Reduce the NHS admin burden, streamline routine processes, and actually give doctors and healthcare professionals exactly what they went into the industry to do, which is to give them much more time focused on patient care. And for me, this actual example is one of the most important examples of AI application across the public sector. But this fundamental shift in how we work means we've just got to learn new skills. In the UK, the demand for digital and AI capabilities is growing rapidly. Every single sector, from healthcare to retail to finance to manufacturing, is demanding access. There is a mismatch between the skills that employers need and those that are available in the workplace. Across the nation, there are still hundreds of thousands of vacancies, yes, and over a quarter of them are driven by skills shortages, not just the lack of people. Employers now view AI literacy as a foundational workplace capability. We own LinkedIn. We can see that in the data. We can see the demands versus the supply. But at Microsoft, we see this as a shared responsibility for skilling. Through our own initiatives and partnership with the UK government and the Tech First and AI Skills Boost initiatives, we're working to equip millions of people with AI skills. And Microsoft UK has provided 3 AI skills to more than 1.5 million people in the past year alone. This is an outstanding effort from my teams to get out into society to deliver these skills. Because actually we believe that AI skills in this era, they're no longer just an input to growth, they're a license to participate. And in fact, many employers now expect that the next generation entering the workforce demonstrate AI fluency, AI competency from day one. So right now, many people are using AI to assist with tasks and improve productivity. But over time, employees from frontline teams to developers will build agents, automate workflows, and create solutions themselves without deep technical expertise. Becoming an AI-powered organization isn't just about technology. It's about helping people work differently and leaders rethinking how organizations operate. The best AI users don't outsource thinking. They use AI to accelerate their thinking. And in the AI economy, success will depend on how quickly you can learn and adapt. And that requires a new approach to skills, one that's continuous, flexible, and accessible throughout a person's career journey. That's the spirit behind Microsoft AI Skills Fest. This is a week of free, practical, online AI learning for anyone in the UK who wants to participate, and it's happening right now. And we bring the same spirit here through initiatives like Get On Greater Manchester. This is a multi-year initiative between GMCA and Microsoft to boost local economy skills and create new opportunities in the digital and technology sector. Because if the UK is going to lead in the AI economy, AI skills need to reach every single part of society. One of the most rewarding parts of my role is visiting schools and colleges and universities across the UK and hearing directly from young people about their ambitions for the future. In fact, earlier today, I visited with UA92, which is especially meaningful to me because it reflects something I care about deeply across society, which is widening access to opportunity. Founded by members of Manchester United's legendary, I said it, legendary. I told my team I wouldn't say it. 92 team. It's a simple idea and powerful that talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And on this day, which is Social Mobility Day, it was pretty inspiring to meet students who are building the skills and confidence and ambition that will shape the future of this region. Microsoft, we've supported UA92 from the very beginning, and today our teams in Manchester are working alongside students and staff on campus. And what makes UA92 particularly special is that it's a modern, industry-connected university, and it's designed to help students succeed in life, not pass exams. Over the years, thousands of students have come through their doors, supported by employers, mentors, and educators working together to open new pathways and new careers. And in many ways, it represents exactly what we need more of in this age of AI. Similarly, I also recently met with students at Manchester Academy. It's a school very close to where I grew up. In fact, the school sits on the ground where my grandmother lived in Moss Side many years ago. I remember many years of walking up 24 flights of stairs because the lifts never work. The lifts work now. It's an impressive school, and actually impressive because the way they're thinking seriously about how AI can shape their future. Because for them, like so many of them from disadvantaged backgrounds, but focusing on gaining the skills that they need to enter the AI economy, imagining how to use AI to make a positive difference for their careers, but also across the community. And those conversations reminded me that AI will only succeed if everyone has the skills, confidence, and opportunity to participate in this AI economy, because it won't happen on its own. In my role as the social mobility champion for the UK government, as part of an initiative called Tech First, I've seen firsthand while talent is everywhere, it's just not evenly distributed when it comes to opportunity. It's still shaped heavily by geography, background, education, and access to personal networks. In fact, 1 million young people right now in the UK are not in education, employment, and training. And this disparity, it creates a real risk, because social mobility, it's not just a problem of fairness, it's a question of our national competitiveness. The nations that will succeed in this AI race, in this age of AI, are the ones that are going to unlock all the potential of all those people, of everyone from the four corners of this land, wherever the talent is found. And that's why partnerships on this particular topic matter. So earlier this year, Microsoft was appointed as the first industry partner to DSIT's Tech First Skills program. That's the Department of Science, Industry and Technology. And for the program, we committed 500 new work placements, 5,000 employee volunteer hours to ensure that we were leaning in to this issue of bringing everyone into this AI skilling opportunity. And it's among many, many initiatives that we're involved in. Through these initiatives, we're working alongside governments, educators, employers, and community organizations to help equip millions of people with the skills they need to participate in this future AI economy. From mentoring and skills programs to connecting students with real career opportunities, the goal is pretty simple, actually. It's to make sure talent, wherever it's found, has an opportunity in this economy, in this AI world. Without it, AI could actually reinforce the existing inequalities in help instead of actually helping to expand opportunity. Anyway, the good news is that the UK is incredibly well positioned. We have world-class universities, outstanding researchers, great entrepreneurs, strong institutions, and a thriving technology ecosystem with innovative firms like ANS that have slides on the outside of their buildings. Leadership won't happen by default. It will depend on how quickly we can move, how effectively we can build skills, and how intentionally we can expand opportunity. And remember, as Rich said, Manchester, we've done this before, not simply by inventing new technologies, but by bringing together talent, industry, ideas, ambition to create economic change. And today, if can help define what the successful AI adoption here in the UK looks like. Not through technology alone, but through leadership, partnership, innovation, and inclusion. If we get this right, AI can help create a stronger economy, better public services, more dynamic businesses, and competitive industries. And actually, perhaps most critically, broader opportunity for people across this region. From the mills of the Industrial Revolution to the birthplace of modern computing to some of the world's most influential cultural movements, Manchester's story has always been about shaping what is next. AI is simply just a new chapter in that journey. Manchester has never waited for the future, it's always helped to build it. And if the UK is going to lead in the age of AI, then Greater Manchester will be one of the places that makes that happen. So thank you.